Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a late night episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. Now, the reason why this is such a late episode, I'm uploading this just after midnight on Friday night, or rather Saturday morning, is because I just cycled back from a very late closing shift at my job. So I'm a little bit down on the energy, a little bit sweaty, and I'm a bit later than I meant to be, but we are going to continue on as we plan to do so. So this episode is actually the 200th episode of Ted's Booze Cellar, and I want to say thank you to everyone who's watched so far and given me the advice, inspiration and viewership and just ideas to just keep on doing this for 200 episodes. I remember I started doing this channel, I should say, and this show, rather, about 2 years ago. It was about a month or month and a half after I started my job as a barman, which I'm still doing now. And, sort of like working with alcohol kind of led me to sort of finding out more about alcohol and talking about it. And now I've done 200 episodes of it. So, yeah, God, it just feels crazy to have done 200 episodes of this. So, kind of like with my 100th episode where I reviewed my favourite ever beer, Mythos, I thought for today's episode I'd review something equally special and close to my heart. So today I'm going to be taking a look at the first wine I remember drinking, and now this isn't the exact sort of vintage that it was when I was first drank it. This is a 2018 vintage. And I'm pretty sure I started drinking this one when I was about 19, so that would have been about 2015, maybe sometime between 2013 and 2015. So yeah, I would like to present to you guys Côtes Du Rhône, and this is Appellation Côtes Du Rhône Contrôlée, produced and bottled by Cellier de Dauphins at 26790 Toilette, France. So I got this from Waitrose for I think $6.49, which I think is a pretty good, reasonable price for a big bottle of wine like this. It says on the back, a traditional Rhône blend including Grenache and Syrah from the heart of the Côtes du Rhône region in southern France. The red wine expresses a traditional fruity local character whilst skillful modern winemaking techniques ensure a smooth finish. Easy drinking with flavours of ripe cherry, blackberry and soft pepper and spice. It is excellent with a wide range of dishes, especially barbecues, roasts, casseroles, game, pasta and hard cheeses. It will taste at its best if consumed within 12 months of purchase. So that sounds pretty reasonable to me. So I'm just going to undo the bottle top. I think I'd like to comment on the label because this is just classy. It's just simple, French, nice. 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's very nice. But yeah, this is a cork bottle, so it will take a little bit of time for me to get this open. Perhaps I should have done so beforehand, but I wanted to just show you guys the nice top of the bottle. It's quite handsome, actually. So yeah, I'm trying to think, what was the first wine I reviewed on this show as well? I think it was another wine from Waitrose. I think it was a red. I think it was their home brand Australian Shiraz, or I think it might have been the Chilean Merlot, actually, which was also pretty good, actually. I mean, it was only like £5, I remember, but it was actually pretty decent. So, right, so my experiences at screwing into corks on wine bottles is pretty poor. So I'm going to try my best here. Going quite well. I've got a fair bit of it in there. Take that out of context, if you will. Ooh, there we go. Right, okay, I think I've gotten it enough in there, so let's open it up. Steadily does it, because I've broken off the cork quite a few times. There we go. Lovely stuff. So, let's get this into a wine glass. I've got a plastic one, not exactly the classiest thing in the world, but, I mean, I'm, beggars can't be choosers, so, and, maybe I should have gotten something a bit classier to put it in for my 200th episode, but this is the only wine glass I have, so, oh well. But anyway, let's give it a sniff, because that, to be fair, sniffing wine is actually the thing you're meant to do for most wines, whereas I just do it for every alcohol I review, so let's give it a sniff them, get some sense of those. What aromas did it say it had? It was ripe cherry? I don't know. Anyway, let's give it a sniff and see what our first impressions are like. Okay, so I see what they get from that ripe, spicy cherry sort of description they gave on the back of the bottle. That is quite accurate, actually. Yeah, it's got a sort of very smooth finish to the smell there. It doesn't have that acidity tang that a lot of cheap wines have, so you can tell this is a well-made sort of red. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. It smells very classy, doesn't sting on or pungenate on the nostrils for too long, so I'll give it a 10 out of 10. It smells really lovely. So I'll just have a quick palate cleanser of water before the 200th episode's taste testing begins. So I'm just looking around because I swear I had a plate and a fork in here, but I've misplaced it, I think. Anyway, so on to the most important part of episode 200 of Ted's Booze Cellar, the tasting. And to everyone, I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and here's to the next 100 episodes. Now, I see what they mean. That is a really good red. It's got that quite heartwarming sort of like a lot of reds I find have like quite a sort of heartwarming acidity to them, underlying a lot of the flavour that kind of over time warms up the cockles of your hearts as you drink more of this. And it does have that here, but thankfully there's not much of like a strong acidity. Like this is quite a smoothly brewed wine. There's not a huge amount of the spicy sort of like cherry flavour coming out there, but it's like it does have a hint of it there a little bit. I think the most significant flavour I'm getting is it's just sort of like very smooth forest fruits. So I guess the cherry kind of does tie into that, but I'm getting more of like a blackberry-ish kind of tone there as well. So it describes itself pretty well on the back of the bottle, honestly, and yeah, it's sort of a good wine that just doesn't overstay its welcome too much. Like you can drink quite easily probably a bottle of this and not feel too bad because it's very smooth. It doesn't sort of zing around in your head. It's not like some cheaply brewed muck that kind of just is nice to taste at first, but then has a finish that's either too sweet or is just way too acidic. This is just a good, competent, straightforward, nice Côtes Du Rhône style wine, and I can honestly see why I liked it so much when I first drank it. Yeah, no, this is damn good stuff. There's just something at the end there that's it's kind of missing something. It's missing just a tiny thing to just make it absolutely 100% perfect. But I think I'm going to gladly give this probably a 9.5. I think maybe I'm looking at it through rose-tinted glasses, and I think if I'm not in the mood for this, it could probably go down to like a 8.5, but a 9.5 I think is well merited, because when I look at a Côtes Du Rhône wine, I think of something that's just smoothly brewed. It doesn't have a particularly extravagant aftertaste or finish. It has a sense of like forest fruits, and it's fairly warming of like the cockles of your heart. And this does that competently. It doesn't try to do anything fancy. It's just a solid southern French wine, and I honestly couldn't be happier that this is the first wine I remember drinking. So to everyone who watched this episode, I hope you will enjoy it as much as I do. So yeah, 9.5, much recommended, definitely worth the price, definitely a buy, and yeah, here's to another 100 or how many other episodes I end up doing of this show. Ooh, pardon me. Wow, that was nice. It was nice. Big landmark episodes don't always have to be explosive. They just have to mean a lot to you, and this one does mean quite a bit to me. So I hope you guys will enjoy it as much as I did. If you did like this video, leave a like, share, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, leave them in the comment section below. And if you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to my social medias, other YouTube channels, and all that shebang in the video description down below. But, as always, I've been Ted. Have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, take care of yourselves, take a mask with you to the shops, drink responsibly, know your limits. And for at least the next 100 episodes, I'll see you guys at the bar on Ted's Booze Cellar. Au revoir.